Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are the Mighty Guru Yoghourt. Oh yes, we are. Well now I hear you ask, where is the Mighty Guru Yoghourt today? Well, I'll tell you, shall I? I'm on the A590 and I'm heading for the M6, which can only mean one thing. I'm leaving the Lake District. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. The Murgatroyd, that Murgatroyd, she's abandoned me. Yes, she's gone off to Belfast. Belfast, I ask you. Yes, with family. Anyway, I knew it was happening. And I'm going to North Wales. That's where I'm going. So I'm heading for the motorway just now. I'm going to have about an hour and a half, M6, M56, out to the A55, cutting across through the mountains. I'm going to be camping tonight. Yes, camping in a very special place, and I'll tell you more about that later. So, I'll see you in a bit. In North Wales, yes indeed. More specifically, we are in a little place called Llanrwst. Yes, Llanrwst, which is not very far from Coed. Yes, Coed. And once we get to Coed, we are having a right turn onto the A5 and heading up to Capel and then down the Ogwen Valley to the campsite. Yes, probably about 20 minutes, maybe 25 to the campsite. I've just stopped off at the shop in Llanrwst to get a few bits and pieces. Bottle of whiskey here, you can probably see, just sticking his head out of the tank bag here. I'm looking forward to a glass of that when I finally stop moving. It's been a fairly decent journey considering the couple of hours of motorway grind. It really wasn't that bad. There were no roadworks holding things up, there were no huge congested sections. It was pretty much plain sailing. Yes. So I've now got pretty much 2 whole days in North Wales. I'm meeting up with a very dear friend tomorrow at some point to be going off for a walk. Not certain where we're going yet, but I'm sure we'll come up with something. I've known Andy for, oh my goodness, probably the best part of 45 years now. And we don't see each other all that often, maybe once a year, something like that. And we'll go off and have a bit of a climbing trip. But this is just going to be a half of a day thing. So I'm going to be out riding early in the morning. I'm going to be doing some very impressive mountain passes, and it will make a very pleasant change from doing all the mountain passes in Cumbria. Yes. It's about 8 o'clock in the evening now. Still probably an hour and a half of daylight, so I will have plenty of time to be getting the tent up before it gets dark and making me evening meal. Yes, which I'm looking forward to. I haven't eaten a great deal all day. Anyway, I'll see you when we get nearer to the campsite. Stop recording. This then is the very edge of Capel Currig. The mountain up there is Mol Shabod. I've climbed up there many times. We're about to head into the centre of the village and then down the other side and into the Ogwen Valley. Yes. Now I'm hoping that the campsite I'm planning on staying at down in the valley is not too busy. However, if it is, there is a campsite back down the road here that I've just ridden past. There's actually quite a lot of space on that, so I was quite surprised. So if the one down here, Gwon Golf Uchaf, is a little bit too busy, I'm coming back up the hill. Yes. Nice pub there, Tinny Coed. And there's another one just here, around the corner, called Cobdens. Cobdens. I actually used to work there. There it is. And there is yet another one, just around this corner. I used to work there as well, many moons ago. Here then is the centre of the village, and turning to the left there takes you down to Llanberis Pass, which we will certainly be going to do tomorrow. Yes. For now though, we're heading up a slight hill here, and this takes us to the very top end of the Ogwen Valley. Place that I am very, very familiar with. The Ogwen Valley then essentially splits two very distinct mountain ranges. And that will become very clear in just a moment. It all becomes clearer now. So on the right hand side you have the Carneds, or the Carnedi as they're known in Welsh. And then on the left hand side you have the Gliders, or again in Welsh, the Gliderau. out. And then further on down the valley, and we'll be visiting it tomorrow, is a little town called Bethesda. Yes, Bethesda. The furthest end of the valley here, nestled below the mountains, is a very nice lake, Lake Ogwyn, or Llyn Ogwyn. Llyn Ogwyn. And that majestic looking mountain up there with the jagged spine is a mountain called Tryfan, and I will have a tale to tell about that in a forthcoming film. The campsite then is coming up on the left. And we will see how full it is. Looking too bad. Well, now, leaving aside the fact that the Murgatroyd has not been in my day, it has nevertheless been an absolutely magnificent day. I've ridden, I think, about 160 miles. The motorway grind was tedious, as it always is, but nevertheless, you just get into what you might call a zen state of mind with it. It's just like, yes, motorway grind just is. It's done as a means to an end, and not an end in itself, though I was very happy when it did end. The M56 becomes very quickly the A55, which is a delightful road to ride along, particularly when you get towards Rhyl and Colwyn Bay and you start seeing the sea and you see Great Orme's Head, and then you see the mountains beyond, the mountains which I'm now camped in the middle of. A truly wonderful day on the motorcycle. The motorcycle is running really well, so I'm very happy about that. I was delighted to find that this campsite, which I have more than a little bit of history with, I've been camping in this spot for the best part of 50 years now. it really hasn't changed that much. The facilities have been updated, the showers are really good. It's a lot busier than it used to be, but it is still very much a campsite for climbers, for hill walkers, and for general outdoors people. And so as a result, the atmosphere is one of camaraderie. For example, on my way back from the washroom just now, I stopped and had a chat with 3 fellow climbers, and that was a very pleasant 20-30 minutes. We talked about climbing, we talked about travelling. I've had some recommendations for when we get to Poland and also to Romania on our big holiday coming up a little over a week from now. Very excited about that still, and will continue to be so. And I'm really going to make the most of this 3 days away, because when I do get back to Cumbria on Monday evening, I'm then looking at working all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, just to fill up the holiday coffers. And I have a couple of plans for tomorrow. I'm going to go out riding fairly early on. I brought food with me to cook. I was going to make myself a bit of a stir fry. I've got some nice chili and garlic sauce to go with that, and some rice. But do you know what? I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I think I might have mentioned that earlier, and I just couldn't be bothered. So I'm just going to have a glass of whiskey, settle down and get some sleep. Motorcycling in the morning, there are some lovely mountain passes to be done around here. I'll be going to do those. I'll then stop at one of the many local cafes for breakfast. And then what I plan on doing is doing a little standalone film on the camping setup. Now, regular viewers will remember that there was a discussion going on between me and the Murgatroyd with regard to which tent we were going to buy for the European trip coming up, and I was angling for an MSR hubba. We talked it through, we looked at a lot of tents, and we ended up buying, as you'll know from last week's little camping trip, this MSR Elixir. I do think it was the right decision, and I will speak at length in the morning, not only about my camping setup and the minimalism involved in it, which I've brought with me through 50 odd years of climbing and mountaineering, but also about why I think MSR tents are absolutely brilliant. We'll do that tomorrow. And then I'll be meeting up with my dear friend Andy Dodd, who takes a very poor view, I might mention, of YouTube, and I'm hoping that I will be able to get him all riled up about that tomorrow afternoon when we go out for a walk. Anyway, that's enough jibber jabber from me. This will be the end of today's little film, and I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, this might be the time to consider liking and subscribing to the channel, because that's going to be a life-enhancing thing for both you and me. In any event, I really have to go now. Why do I really have to go now? Oh yeah, because if I don't go, I can't come back. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching.